And we're back to exploring Midjourney. Last couple of days I've been experimenting with the prompt structure and it inevitably led to multi-prompting. But let us start with a simple example, still life painting. Now I use the same words but get rid of the white spaces. And again I use the same words but add a comma. And our result will be that all three image generations will be in the same fashion, the same concept. So Midjourney doesn't really seem to understand commas, white spaces, or even prompts without white spaces. At least for this example, you can see still life painting, and still comma, life, comma, painting. They are all very similar to one another. So adding commas doesn't really have to have an impact at all. And let's go over this example once more, but this time we'll add double colons after every word. And this is the indicator for Midjourney to understand each word as a concept of its own. So now the concept is not still life painting anymore, the concept is still, then life, then painting, three different concepts. And it's going to put it together in one image generation. And the result is totally different from what we've had prior. Midjourney has some understanding of what still needs to be and what life needs to be and what painting needs to be, and it mixes this now up into a totally new image generation. And this is what you do by adding these double colons, which is called multi-prompting. Let us go over a different example, and we'll use sun and flower. Here yet again it doesn't make a difference if we have commas, white space, or just write it together. It's going to give us a sunflower. But if we add double colons after each word, we don't have a sunflower anymore as a single concept. We have the sun as one concept and the flower as a second. And then Midjourney is going to mix these two concepts to give us a totally different image generation. You can already see that here. Sunflower is what we would expect, but sun double colons, flower double colons is totally different. And here in the official documentation you can find this concept. It's called multi-prompts. So double colons is the separator that you use to separate the concepts that you want to use. Here the example space, ship, and space and ship. Let us try again with our sunflower, but this time we'll add numbers after the double colons. And these are the prompt weights. So make that sun 1 and flower 5. And then I prompt it again and I reverse it. So I make the sun 5 and the flower 1. And this is going to put weights on these two different concepts. Midjourney now takes these two concepts, but it places more weight on the one that has the higher number. And these are relative values. So this is a 5:1 ratio now between the two concepts. Let us check our first result. Sun not that important, flower way more important. And we have lots of flowers in our image, while the sun is not really prominent anymore. Second one, it's the inverse. And if we look closely, we can't even see a flower anymore. It's more like an abstract concept of what a flower might be. Let us try with a simple example, car, weight 3, and the color blue, weight 1. We'll inverse it, and keep in mind that Midjourney has its own idea of what blue means, so it doesn't necessarily have to mean the bluish color. You've seen it above, where if you're still life painting, Midjourney's idea of still and life is very hard to put into words. Let's get back to the documentation. So here we have the weighting, and as I've said, it's relative, so cheese and cake 2:1. So when you don't add a number, 1 is the default. 2:1 is the same as 4:2 and 100:50. It's all about the ratio between the concepts and not the absolute numbers. Let's check our car, blue, 3:1. We have a car in each, but 1 to 3, it focuses on what it understands as a concept of blue. And if there's still some room to play with, it adds a car. Here we don't even see it. Let us try car and blue without concept weights. And if you just want to have a blue car, keep that in mind. We don't use different concepts, we'll just make it one concept, but not adding these double colons. So car blue without any double colons. will give us a car with a bluish color, at least it should. So try to see it when you prompt your stuff like this. Whenever you add the double colons, you are separating concepts, or when you don't have double colons, Midjourney sees everything that you put in as one concept. Let's get back to still life painting. And now I'll show you the negative prompt weight when we just have our still life painting right here. Lots of fruits in there, greenish colors. Let's just say we don't want green. We'll make it still life painting, double colons, and then add green double colons and make it minus 0.5. This is a negative prompt weight for the concept green. In the documentation you can see right here negative prompt weights. Here we have a still life painting, and the second one has a negative weight for fruit. And this way of writing it, so double colon minus 0.5, is the same as using the no parameter. It will not get rid of the greenish color in our example entirely. As you can see in the example, it hasn't even gotten rid of all of the fruits, but it's certainly going to reduce the amount of green that we've got. Let's check the results. So there's still a little bit of green here, but it's not very prominent anymore. Definitely less green in there as with our previous example. So I've covered a lot in this video. What you should take away is forget about adding commas. It doesn't seem to have an impact. Instead, if you want to separate different ideas in your prompts, use the double colon and then play around with these prompt weights. And these are relative numbers, keep that in mind. I hope this video was helpful, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.